who could read me our math objective this morning? What in the world are we going to do in math today? Genesis, nice and loud.
How can we use success criteria to help us give effective feedback to our classmates for organizing and analyzing data?
Whew. That is a big one today, okay? What is it that is so important, Eric?
Organize.
We're going to organize some things. So we're going to take some data and we're going to order it. We're going to put it in order, okay? We're organizing data. What else are we doing with data? Or what else have we already done with data? What else have we already done? Dynasty?
We're going to analyze data.
What do we do when we analyze data? Remember, it's a big word. Remember, it's math word in case you need it. What do we do when we analyze data? Eric, what do we do when we analyze data? Yeah, we're looking closely at all the information and we're going to unlock it. We're going to figure out exactly what in the world it's talking about and what it means, okay? I'm going to use that word unlock because I really like that word. You guys thought of that word. It's a great word, okay? What are we going to use today? What's our main goal, though? We've already done the organizing. We've already done the analyzing. What's our main goal? How can we use success criteria to help us give effective feedback to our classmates? What do you think, Anthony?
First we have to organize all the data that we have, like in bar graphs and picture graphs.
And you've got it. We've got data organized in bar graphs and picture graphs and line graphs.
And analyze means that you're just taking it and checking it off, and then we're just going to use feedback to help analyze that data and make sure it's good and ready to be effective.
What in the world is effective feedback? What you said we're going to use feedback. What is effective feedback?
Effective feedback is feedback that it's already checked back at and it's good.
How do we know it's good feedback?
How do you know it's good feedback is because because you have to use the success criteria to make that effective.
So we've got to have the success criteria in order to be really good feedback, okay? And you guys have already written really great success criteria for all of these things. You guys have been giving really great feedback for all of your graphs and your charts and your learning. Today, you guys are going to take a chance and give a little bit more feedback to each other so that you can use everybody else's feedback to really take your learning and make sure you know everything there is to know about organizing and analyzing data. I have a really exciting little folder for you. Inside this folder, I'm going to call this your data portfolio. Inside this folder is your bar graph challenge, okay? It is also, I'll pop it up front. It's your bar graph challenge. It is your pictograph challenge with your work. And then it is also your line plot challenge. So all of the work that you guys have done during our data unit is inside this folder. All right? I want you really quickly to look at your folder and look at your work. And I want you to decide what area you think you need some feedback on. Do you need feedback on organizing your data, putting it into the charts, making sure you have all the important parts? Or do you need feedback on analyzing it and talking about the data and making sure you have all of that important information unlocked and explained? So look at your work, look at your success criteria, and ask yourself, okay, what do I need some help with? What do I want somebody to help me out, and how do I want them to help me out? You ready? Go. You want feedback on this one? Okay, why is that?
Because I think I made some, I think I didn't do it right.
Okay. Why? Let's look at our success criteria. What is it missing? Are you missing more about organizing, or are you missing more about analyzing? Because I see that as you analyzed, as you looked at the data, it looks like you gave me some good evidence. I don't know that you asked questions about the work, and I see some spots maybe you could add some evidence.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it would be more on, I think it would be a little bit of both.
You think a little bit of both? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Both what?
Both of organizing like in labels
Oh,
and
because are you missing some labels?
yeah,
Okay.
and maybe a key.
Okay. And how is that going to help you? And because we're going to have to just pick one. We're either going to analyze or we're going to do organize. You're going to have to pick one.
Analyze.
You have 3 pieces of work. You have your line plot challenge, you have your bar graph challenge, and you have your pictograph challenge. Pictograph and your bar graph challenge. I want you to pick one piece of work, okay? The one you want the feedback on the most. And Mark already started doing this. Check this out. Look at Mark.
I did some bird book. I put my nose on. I put them right on the back.
So he took out some scrap pieces of paper, he took out his bird books, and he was like, I want to review this one. I want, what is this? What's this?
Not revise.
Not revise on this one. So he already was doing that. Miss Leard thought ahead. You've got a Post-it note on your folder. I want you to write on this Post-it note whether you want help with organization or whether you want help with analyzing, and I want you to stick it to that work. The rest of the work goes in the folder and inside your desk. All right, let's take a look at this one, number 3. How many biotic organisms did the students find all together? Yep, use your success criteria. Yeah. Have you been using it? You used one of them. So talk to me. Is that a good answer? Is that an answer that is the strongest answer it could be? Just 14?
No.
No. It's not. So I need what? What do
Evidence.
I need evidence. So how could I prove? What could you say? Who could tell me a good piece of feedback that I could give to Miss Leard? Who could give me a good piece of feedback for number 3?
What did you get 14 out of? What? And you can't just say 14 because what are we gonna know you're talking about? 14 milkshakes or what?
14 milkshakes. I don't know. Can you write that down quick? Write that down because that is great feedback. Hey, I have a question. Does Mark want feedback on analyzing or organizing? He wants feedback on his analyzing. Sorry. Okay, we're going to stick that right up here. So what else does he need to add to make sure that he is definitely successful? Here's Post-it notes. I'll be right there. I'll be right there. He needs proof how what?
How his pencils are.
Okay. What kind of proof does he need?
This part.
Let's be specific. Thank you. What are you giving him to grow on? Specific what? Which part of the organization is he missing? Which part is it missing? Right? Okay. What are you adding? What kind of feedback are you going to help him grow?
He needs to work on highlighting because he needs to highlight.
Why does he need to highlight? Like, why should I highlight?
So he knows the important keywords.
Okay, let's write that. Make sure you say so that you understand it or you paid attention to the important keywords. I have a couple of pieces of evidence I want to share out to kind of make sure that you're refining your thinking and really making sure that your evidence is helping to push your classmates forward, okay? Anders gave a really good piece of feedback. You know how he phrased it? He didn't phrase it in a normal just telling sentence. How did you phrase it?
I thought the title was.
Go ahead and read
Why
your...
that title?
Why that title? So you could phrase your feedback in the form of a question like Anders did. He said, why did you pick that title? Jalen and Genesis have some really good ideas over here about highlighting. They said, maybe you need to go back and pay closer attention to the key words that you should be highlighting so that way you can use those keywords in your explanations, okay? think about your feedback. We have one more rotation that we're going to do, and then we're going to come together and use some time to take our feedback and put it down on our paper, make some revisions. Are you ready? Okay. All right, I haven't checked in with you ladies. I'd like to check in with you ladies. Talk to me. Oh, he doesn't have any labels. Why is that a problem?
Because he just saw a picture and the person said he
Don't forget to tell why he needs labels. Okay, what else?
Wait, why did he highlight everything?
No, could you ask that? Would that, if you asked him that question, would that be some good feedback?
Yeah.
Okay, does that make the graph kind of confusing?
Yeah, it's like spreaded.
Ready? I like that. I like that you're asking questions about that. I think that that's going to help him. I am going to set the timer, and I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to really look at your work and look at your feedback. Okay? Tomorrow, I'm going to give you some time to take all of this feedback and apply it. But today, before we do that, I want you to set some next steps. All right? Take a look up front at our exit ticket. Okay? It says using success criteria exit ticket. Okay? I want you to find your piece of work. I want you to read through all of your feedback. And this is your chance to select the feedback you think that's most helpful. Peel off that piece of feedback, and I'm going to stick it right in the feedback box on my exit ticket. Okay? What's the next box, Anthony? Next steps. So here is where you get to this is where you get to turn it into how you are going to take that feedback and make it something great for you. So, what was our objective today? Who remembers? Jalen, what were we supposed to do today?
How can we use success criteria to help us give effective feedback?
Freeze. Did we do that?
Yeah.
Feedback that is effective is always going to be helpful, okay? So feedback that's ineffective is going to be not very
helpful.
Not very helpful.
Like what Mr. Foreman gave you.
Like what Mr. Foreman gave me. He gave me some not very effective feedback. So talk to me about your feedback. We know about Miss Leard's feedback and Mr. Foreman's feedback. You helped make it better. You made it more effective. What feedback today was most effective? Eric, do you have a piece? Be specific. What did you need to be specific about? Which spot were you not very clear or not very specific about?
On my questions.
On your questions. Okay. Who has another piece of feedback that they feel like really is going to help them make a next step? Genesis, what do you think?
Show your work from number 5. Use math equations. Write down your totals for the x's.
All right. What's your next steps?
My
What are your next steps?
are to label above the x's and show my work to make people know how I got the answer.
I love that. So you're going to make sure people know exactly how you got your answer, not just any old way. You didn't just write a number down, right? You didn't just pull it. I have one more question. If we didn't give each other this feedback today, would you have been able to write these next steps as clear? No. Why, Mark? Why?
Because like without my feedback from Zane, I wouldn't know what did I do bad and how would I know like that I needed to do good or that I could like add more stuff on number 2.
Add more stuff. What's that stuff that you added that you already started writing down?
Math problems.
He just started writing down his math problems
All
or his
my-
equations. Take a look. He's got his feedback that he needed to make sure he showed evidence for how he got the answer for number 2.
And on my other ones, I did math problems, and so then I added math problems, and it says add a math problem. I meant to put an F at the end. Problems.
How's this feedback going to help you? Turn and talk to a neighbor. All right, I want to hear from Lily. Lily, how is this feedback helping you tomorrow and as we wrap up our data unit?
Because then I know that all my numbers lined up all together and I don't have any other spaces.
Okay, because you had made a mistake with your scale. That kind of threw off your data a little bit, right? Nice job. All right, Lily, I want you to call on one more person.
It's going to help me because I don't know if whenever if we ever are solving math equations, this will tell me not to just use words to explain my thinking. Also use math problems.